An executive decision has been made. What's up, guys? Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles, and recently my annual fee hit on my American Express Gold Card. The beloved Gold Card. And this is a card I've had for 5 years, and I've said dozens of times that I will always have it, and I've said a lot of times in the past that this is my biggest earner. So why cancel it? Yes, you heard that right. In 2024, I have canceled the American Express Gold Card. In this video, I'm going to go over why I canceled it. Now, I wanted to do a video titled, Why You're Not Getting Enough Value from the American Express Gold Card. But I know that every single person watching will claim that they are actually the exception. So instead, after way too much analysis, I'm going to explain to you why I don't get enough value from this card. I'll fill you in on some things you may not be considering about your gold card use. Some of these will make some of you a little emotional, and even more of you flat out deny that it's true. And I'll also tell you what I'm going to be using instead. All this, and I will try not to bore you too much with math. Before I get started, yes, I do think the Gold Card is one of the best credit cards on the market, and you can generate tons and tons of travel points using it. It earns. No denying that. But if you like thought-provoking videos like this where I open up some personal information to use as an example, then slap the like button, and if you want to keep up to date with the channel, feel free to subscribe. Now let's get started. Let me quickly go over this card because it is super simple. Then I'll get into each factor that has led up to me canceling. The card has a $250 annual fee. Now let me give you some perspective. I have a very modest level of monthly expenses, no consumer debt, excluding my primary residence. That said, $250 is too much to pay for this card. I'll explain how I come to that conclusion because that is not the only factor. And it's actually not even the largest factor. The card earns 4 times at restaurants and grocery stores in the United States. Technically, the dining is good worldwide, but let's keep it real. Too many places refuse to accept Amex overseas, and I don't even carry it when I go overseas. But I am someone who has tried to shop at supermarkets overseas. The card also gets 3 times on airline tickets that I don't think anyone uses, so we won't even talk about that. The annual fee is offset by a couple monthly $10 credits. And this is where we get into some debate. I have confirmed for me that these credits are not a benefit for the following reasons. The credits, when used for food, and I'm talking about Uber Eats and Grubhub, they force me to spend more than I like on overpriced orders. I'll explain. Even when I try to order something and pick it up, in my experience, the price on Uber Eats and Grubhub is still inflated. Now, this is further aggravated because I generally don't purchase food for just one person. So I'm pretty much buying 3 meals at inflated prices, and this forces me to spend more than I want, and that's pretty consistent. The example I hear so often is, well, I pick up a burrito at Chipotle. And that makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. I just priced a burrito from Chipotle from Uber Eats and Chipotle's website, and even with the pickup option, the Uber Eats order was more than 16% more expensive. There's no debating that this card is forcing me to lose purchasing power. But I'm going to admit right now, guys, we're talking about very small numbers. The fact is that very few people are actually getting anywhere near $240 of value from these credits. But I do understand that a few dollars here and there probably aren't a big deal for most of you. Also, to make matters worse, I would not normally use any of these delivery services anyway. And if I'm being really honest, I generally don't pick up my own food. So forcing myself to behave differently and overspending is not worth it for me. Also, I don't take Ubers every month. I live a suburban life and I drive a car everywhere. I do travel close to once a month, but not enough to get full value from these credits. It gets deeper than this. And let me go on a brief tangent as quickly as I can. The power in the gold is the earnings. So if you have a family, you may spend a lot at supermarkets. But for some strange reason, I see youngsters that maybe even live at home stating they're getting plenty of value from the gold card. Not likely, and probably not even close. I calculated I need to spend at least $18,000 a year to make the gold worth it, with valuing the credits at half. I'm not using any strange math here, just my own estimations. And that's about what I spend a month on groceries and dining. Probably around $1,500 a month and maybe more. I don't think a single 25-year-old is spending that on groceries. But here's where things get skewed once again. Is every one of us using our gold card for all our dining and all our supermarket spend every month? Most gold card holders that I know are getting new cards pretty regularly. Are they not using those new cards for food to reach their sign-up bonuses? Ever? Here's my example with $18,000 spend in mind. Even though I focus and earn a lot of transferable currencies, I still can't use my gold card every month for all my food. Let's say, super conservatively, I'll get 3 new cards this year. Pretty sure it'll be double that, but 3 cards is likely 3 months that the gold card will be taking a back seat. We just went from $18,000 to $13,500. Now let's factor in that almost everyone watching credit card YouTube holds the Chase Freedom Flex. And you guys know that one is stealing $1,500 to spend yearly when groceries are on the calendar and another $1,500 for dining. Now we're down to $10,500. If you guys watch the channel, you know that although I travel quite a bit, I also perform a few cashback injections. Maybe 3 months a year, I'll use my AAA Visa for 5% cashback on groceries and my Redstone Visa for 5% cashback on dining. That's $4,500 more spend, not on the gold card. Now we're down to $6K a year. Ironically, I'm willing to bet that a lot of these younger folks are not putting $6,000 on the gold card a year anyway. So if these numbers are close, the card will earn me right around 24,000 Amex MR points this year. With the same numbers on a 3 times card, of which there are plenty with no annual fee, that'll be around 18,000 points. At the end of the day for me, I think I'll lose 6,000 points in the year and not pay that $250 annual fee, and I won't even have to try to make it up with credits. Now remember, that was with 3 new cards. How many new cards did you get last year? How many are you getting this year? My point is, if you are bonus hunting even a little bit, you're likely not killing it with this card. And it took me years to figure this out. Now, here's what I consider Amex's saving grace, and it's something that they share with Chase. If you can generate the max referrals with your gold card, you could come out way ahead, and the card is worth it if it never gets swiped. The maximum used to be 55,000 points for referrals, but I don't know what it is now because Amex took my gold referrals away years ago, and they won't tell me why. Now, about my own hypocrisy, if I could easily generate 55,000 MR points this year, would I close the card? No. I'd keep on trucking. Hey, I like MR points. Now, after coming to this conclusion, which in my opinion is both math-based and behavioral-based, I really had to think about how much I love Amex MR points and the gold card in general. So I took a look at all the partners and I took a second look at which ones I actually transfer out to. I really like Aeroplan, Air France, Avianca, British Airways, and Virgin. So if I'm not generating as many MR points, could I still acquire these currencies? Well, it turns out I like the popular choices, and all of those partners are shared by other issuers. Citi just had a 25% transfer bonus to Avianca. Chase just had a 25% bonus to Air France. Chase and Capital One both have Aeroplan. No one uses MR points through the Amex travel portal, do they? And most folks can't cash them out. Basically, I'm not going to miss anything. So what do I plan on using instead of the gold card? Well, I've discussed the AAA Visa that gets 5% cash back at grocery stores, and it has a $10,000 cap. I'll likely use that one for around 3 months of the year. For my main card, I'm going to be using the Capital One Saver One. The Saver One works overseas, and no Capital One card has foreign transaction fees. The Saver One also has no annual fee. The Citi Premier will also get some work in 2024 as a grocery card, But if I'm completely honest, I think Chase will be taking over the dining duties for this year. So guys, there you have it. I did it. I have went away from the gold card because I don't think the maths. And this is just the beginning of some major changes in the lineup this year as I diversify with some cash back and with several different travel points. The goal this year is to lower the annual fees and try to take stock of the work I put in to get value from all my cards. In my case, the gold did not make the cut, but you'll have to decide for yourself. In the comments below, if you could do me a favor, take a look at your Amex accounts. Tell me exactly how many MR points your gold card earned in 2023 or this year. Also, has anyone ever hit the $25,000 cap? Guys, this is just my opinion. I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings, especially those that still carry the delusions that they're killing it with their Amex Gold Card. That's it for me, guys. If you have stayed all the way to the end, I appreciate you, and I thank every single one of you.